The North Parish Church shows off their Zen garden. There's progress on a proposed solar farm at Osgood Landing. Plus, we meet the town's newest local celebrity, all on this Labor Day edition of the North Andover Journal. Hello and welcome to the North Andover Journal. I'm Ron Carpenito. And first up, the Unitarian Universalist North Parish Church has been hard at work on the upkeep of their Zen garden, a secluded spot designed for peaceful meditation and deep contemplation. For the Journal, North Parish member Donna Clooney interviewed their House and Grounds Committee co-chair, Deb Putnam, who was instrumental in creating this space.
Hello, Deb.
Hey, Donna, how are you?
I'm great. So we're here today to talk about our beautiful garden.
Yep.
I have spent time here, but I'm wondering if, others from the community have spent time here, and is it open to them?
It's interesting because one of the ways I describe it is it's a very private public space. Even though the gardens are on church property, they are open to anybody, and we welcome others to come by and come through the gardens.
Now, what about folks in wheelchairs or crutches?
One of the things that we were able to do with this building project we just finished was to rework the entryway into the gardens so that they are completely ADA compliant.
Well, it's fabulous. It looks like a ton of work, and I know that you're a co-chair of the House and Grounds Committee,
Yep.
an original designer of this garden. I'm just wondering, why you do it. It's a huge undertaking.
Well, it's an evolving story. There were actually two of us, Dick Wilson and I, in a project that we completed in 2008. Both had been coming with this vision of wanting to frame our new building and frame our space. We're both passionate gardeners, lifelong gardeners, and I think both of us approached gardening as a spiritual practice. But it also is a wonderful way to take something that's a passion for us and to give that back to the community. And I think everybody who works in the gardens feels that this community, this church community, is such a gift that it's nice to be able to have something you can give back. Mm-hmm. We try to choose plants that are hardy, that are native where possible, that don't require a lot of additional water and fertilize. We weed the crabgrass by hand instead of using chemicals. Our church was certified as a natural wildlife habitat.
Really?
Yep, a number of years ago. Something we actually are in the process of recertifying with all the construction redo now.
Now, how do you maintain this? You mentioned that you come out here and weed. Are you the only one that's doing this?
We have a whole little network of folks. At different times when we've done installations and renovations in the garden, we've had people come in. We've had work days where we have crews who come in. We also have a group called the Weekly Weeders who comes once a week. They come out and work tending the weeds, deadheading plants, doing some pruning. And in the fall, there's always leaf cleanup. There are always a few plants.
There's always work to be done.
Always work to be done. Gardens are never done.
Thank you so much, Deb, for telling me about the garden. I appreciate your time today.
Want to take a walk?
I'd love to.
Let's go.
Oh my gosh, I love the cone flowers. I have those in my yard. I love that.
Now for a local story that's become a regional sensation. When North Andover resident Mary Schwalm was visiting her wife at Mass General, she discovered a lost stuffed pig in the parking garage. Her resolve to find its owner has led the pair on an adventure in pictures and the press.
Hi, my name's Mary Schwalm. I'm a freelance photojournalist. I live here in North Andover, Massachusetts. My wife is undergoing treatment for cancer at Mass General Hospital, and we were there for a chemo treatment on Tuesday, August 4th. And we get there really early and the parking garage is packed. We found a spot. Her infusion takes a while, and we left at about 6:30, and our car was one of the last ones in the lot in this dark parking garage. And we walked to our car, and I looked over to my right, and there was Yaki, this little pig, lying face down in a parking spot, all alone. There were no other cars, and my heart just broke, and I just instinctively ran over and picked him up. And my wife looked at me, what are you doing? I said, he can't just stay there. And I put him in the car, and we headed home. And I just started thinking, what am I going to do with this pig now? And as I said, I'm a photographer and I'm a freelancer, and I have a little bit of time on my hands, and so this project was born. After a few of the pictures, I realized that I might be able to actually reconnect this stuffed animal with whoever lost it. I sort of developed a narrative. I think I had about maybe 15 pictures, and then I decided that if I really wanted to make it go, I needed to create a found poster. So I did, and I put that on Instagram, I put that on Facebook and on Twitter. And then the Eagle Tribune contacted me, and so of course I went with it. And on Monday morning, he was on the front page of the Eagle Tribune. The Eagle Tribune really got the ball rolling. I got contacted by so many different radio stations, news outlets, TV stations. It's been overwhelming, honestly. It's been a real learning experience for me. I don't have children, and so it's been fun and a challenge to come up with things that Yaki might have been doing with his person. I'm sort of caught up in some of the plays on words with pigs, so I'm trying to figure out how to make him fly. And that was part of the inspiration behind his cape, but I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to get him up in the air yet. The outcome I'm hoping for is obviously I want the pig to be reunited with whoever lost it. The picture I want most is the picture of the pig with the kid who've lost him. And I've already even thought about that. It's the picture of the kid walking away with holding Yaki by the hand. Maybe the kid's not very tall and his feet are dragging a little bit on the ground. Like that's my vision. There's been an incredible amount of media attention in the past few days, and I feel like if that's not enough to find his owner, then it needs to come to an end in another way. It's fun, but it's not sustainable. I've got to figure out in the alternative to finding his original owner, how can I end it in a way that doesn't let down a bunch of people that are now following his adventures. It's funny, as the days go on and this narrative continues, I'm becoming very attached to Yaki. And so I think it's going to be, of course that's what I want, but I'm going to be kind of sad. We've had a good time, and as I said, I'm going through stuff in my personal life with my wife, and he's been a really fun distraction for both of us. And conversations at breakfast. What's Yaki going to do today? One of my favorite stories is that I went whale watching by myself because I thought, oh my goodness, I can take a picture of Yaki out whale watching. And normally my wife would have come with me. She wasn't feeling well, and normally if she wasn't feeling well, I would have not gone. But I was like, no, let's go because Yaki would like it. How ridiculous is that? But then at the same time, how wonderful is it that he's encouraging me to continue on with my life and doing things that I want to do, even though I've been a little bit overwhelmed as a caretaker.
Well, it's not quite autumn yet, but the North Andover Merchants Association is already gearing up for their annual Fall Festival at the end of the month. Here's NAMA board member Sylvie Folds with more.
Hello, my name is Sylvie Folds. I'm from the North Andover Merchants Association. I'm the committee chair for our Fall Festival. It's our 5th annual Fall Festival, and it's going to be on the North Andover Common, Saturday, September 26th. That day we will be raising funds for the North Andover Middle School STEM program, the robotics portion of that program. We will also be raising funds for Everyone's a Player to provide sports and equipment and fees for North Andover kids who are in need. We are also collecting cans and dried goods for the People's Pantry, so please feel free to bring that along. That day, it's from 10 to 4. On that day, we will have a game tent and a craft tent for the kids. So we'll have bouncy houses, pumpkin decorating, scarecrow building, all kinds of great things for the kids to do. And we'll also have food vendors, Stachys, Brown and Budnick, among several other food vendors. It's a great day just to get out, stop by for a little while, stay for a while, and hope to see you there.
Labor Day weekend is here and school is right around the corner, but many North Andover students stayed productive throughout the summer, especially our talented young musicians. The North Andover Music Association held its summer Coffeehouse on the Common last month. Based on the coffeehouses of the 50s and 60s that became staples of the Beat generation and folk singers, students were invited to take the stage with songs and poetry to help raise money for the group's other activities throughout the year. You can watch the whole show on our sister channel, CAM Ed. In 2007, voters at town meeting passed bylaw 40R, the Osgood Smart Growth Overlay District, or Osgood, to promote new development at the 169-acre site formerly home to Western Electric and Lucent. In the 8 years since, proposals and developers have come and gone, and Osgood Landing remains largely vacant. At this year's town meeting, voters allowed the town manager and selectmen to consider payments in lieu of taxes and a net metering program for proposed solar panels to be installed across the site, from roofs to carports to currently empty fields around the property. However, due to some technicalities in how 40R was drafted, the project was put on hold by the building inspector, who felt the panels would violate the Osgood bylaw. Last week, the Zoning Board of Appeals held a special meeting that went on for 2 hours before coming to vote on the inspector's findings. Here are some of the highlights.
So I'm going to try and keep this as short and concise as possible. 1600 Osgood Street is a parcel of land in North Andover that's formerly known as the Western Electric Plant or the Lucent facility.
One of the things that I'm very confused on is why is this in zoning, not in planning?
Well, that's why they're here.
Okay, see, to me, all of this should be a totally planning issue.
I attended a town meeting this year where there were bylaws approved with respect to credits. You know, what does that mean in terms of economic incentives to the town?
Roughly $2.2 million. That's the number we've been presenting to the town manager. That's the meeting we presented to the planning director and to the planning board.
Do we think his project is going to enhance the development of the old Western Electric site?
The reason we believe so is this. 40R was adopted in 2007. We're sitting here in 2015, and we haven't had more luck. We need to do something to jumpstart. We would like to have biotechnology, kind of trendy companies. And we looked around and we saw, you know, there's lots of places building solar carports. If you look at Google and what Google does on its campus to attract people, the next generation, they drive Kias. I don't know why. I always grew up wanting to drive a Camaro convertible. Shame on me. Mm-hmm. But the next generation wants to be environmentally conscientious. My son would kill me if I didn't take the recycle bins out. So we feel like this generation that's coming up is going to be looking for these types of things, and we're hoping. Look, we've got solar carports. How cool is that? You can park your car under a carport. You got solar on the roof. We're making money for the town. We're making money for ourselves. We've got a cool addition to the facility.
I am twisted in knots, Counselor, trying to find a way to. I see the arguments that you're making. I'm just not persuaded by them.
That it's a by right use. It's not listed because it doesn't have to be, as it relates to Section 17 in the Osgood. So that's sort of where I am on that one.
Just because we are in violation of the very warning that the Attorney General has allowed doesn't mean that the town can't cure the problem. All you got to do is write another bylaw, get it in front of town meeting, sure, and we'll have there will be a place for solar.
Let the planners do their job. I'm in total agreement with you. It's their job, not ours. Yeah. Let's advance it so they can do what they get paid for.
We have a motion and a second. Okay, so then I'll start with Mr. Kuchar. Mr. Kuchar, yes. You in favor of that?
Yes.
Yes.
You're in favor of that, okay. I am also in favor of that. Sorry, I have to skip you.
It happens.
Paul, are you in favor of that?
Pardon me?
Are you in favor?
Oh, no, sir.
Okay. Yes. You're in favor. Okay. You need 4 votes for those to pass. I will declare all of the findings approved, and we will issue a decision within 14 days.
Thank you very much.
Based on that 4-5 vote, Osgood Solar LLC won their appeal and will be able to present their project to the planning board as an as-of-right use, not requiring a special permit. They may still face an uphill battle. Previously, planning has expressed reservations about the project, regardless of the legal technicalities. You can catch that upcoming meeting, as well as the entire Zoning Board of Appeals meeting from August 25th on our sister channel, GovCam. It's also available as video on demand at northandovercam.org. Now let's check out the CAM event calendar for the next few weeks. It's Labor Day weekend, and the St. Alfeo Society will be hosting their 92nd annual Feast of the Three Saints on September 4th, 5th, and 6th on Common Street in Lawrence. Local members have secured a live broadcast of Sunday's Moment of Glory from 5 to 8 right here on CAM Access. There's also a 5K road race with cash prizes on Saturday morning. You can visit threesaintsinc.org for more info. Also this weekend, the Historical Society will have the Parson Bernard House open to the public from 11 to 3 as part of the countywide 17th Century Saturdays program and to celebrate the house's 300th birthday. Journal cameras will be there as well for a quick tour that you can check out on our next episode. The Andover's Artists Guild will be hosting the Andover's Art in the Park exhibition on September 19th. Local artists from across Merrimack Valley will be displaying their original work to the public in the park on Chestnut and Bartlett Streets in Andover. The rain date is the 20th. For more, visit andoversartistsguild.com. Another county-wide event, Trails and Sales Weekend, is back, this time covering 2 weekends due to last year's great turnout. Here in North Andover on September 20th, the Historical Society will host an afternoon tour of the town's old burial ground. On the 26th, Friends of North Andover Trails will have a guided hike along the Bay Circuit Trail that cuts through Boxford State Forest. You can check out EssexHeritage.org for more details and other events across the region. If you have an event to add to the calendar, or you have a news story or idea for a segment, please email us at thejournal@northandovercam.org. That will wrap things up for this week. Join us again next time for recaps of the Feast in Lawrence and the Parson Bernard House birthday, plus a look at local fall entertainment. I'm Ron Carpenito. Take care, North Andover.